Over the biggest decisions estheticians make from deciding whether to be a solo esthetician or expanding and opening up a salon, and the pros and cons of it, the stress that comes with it. So this is just basically breaking down everything that, hey, should I be a solo esthetician, or is it time for me to grow and add to my team? Mm-hmm. Which for us in the beginning, I remember we're like, oh, should we stay? Are we happy where we at? Or do we need to grow? And I was like, more, let's grow. And you're like, no, and then eventually, like, let's grow. So
yeah. It always takes me a little time to get used to some of Sasan's ideas because.
Yeah, and then believing in yourself and knowing that there's going to be more overhead, there's going to be more stress and more work. Mm-hmm. So less decisions and less work. When you're a salon, more work.
Both paths can bring success, but they have two totally different challenges.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out how to tackle those.
If you can handle the workload, but the pros, you're growing, you're bringing team members, you're helping other people, in the industry, mm-hmm. You're making more money. Mm-hmm. But cons, you're stressed out.
You have no time for yourself.
The more higher volume of customers you get, more complaints you get. Mm-hmm. It's stuff like that you deal with. So it comes with the territory, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
So what are the biggest advantages of staying solo?
Well, if you stay solo, you have full creative control.
Yep.
For sure, which is great. You don't have to worry about anybody else. You don't have to
micromanage anyone.
Anybody's schedules. Honestly, I don't really micromanage anybody. I really try to hire people that I know can be an adult, mm-hmm. come to work. Your schedule is definitely more flexible. I mean, I feel like I'm juggling all these different balls in the air constantly, my to-do list is never ending. And that's not my personal life either. It's just all of work, so managing the employees, managing my schedule, clients, being client forward. And then that actually, we're open from 9 a.m. to basically 8 p.m. in Austin. And then in LA, we're open from 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. So because we're Austin time zone, we have to be available basically from 9 a.m. Austin time to 10:30 p.m. Austin time. So there's not a lot of breaks.
Yeah, I agree. That
can be tough, but it's up to you if you can do that. Like we are a team, so we try to help each other out. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he'll answer calls. Sometimes I'll answer calls. If we can't answer a call, always a text. Being really good about customer service.
What I would add to it is, your profit margin.
Yeah.
So your margin is higher because you don't have payroll, you don't have anyone to pay. You put less money into marketing because it's just yourself. So your profit margin is higher, but you're limited on the profit margin. So you think, oh, I make more money, but usually when you spend more money, you make more money. Exactly. So when you onboard someone, maybe the first couple months you're breaking even or slightly negative, but then in the long term you're going to be positive.
Yeah, when they start growing their clientele and people keep coming back. Yeah.
And that's why you always want to onboard someone that's comfortable, that's experienced, mm-hmm. and they understand the industry where, hey, this is for the what's the word I want to use? Long run. It's like
it's not just like a
short journey. It's like it's going to be something you're going to stay put with us for a long time and mm-hmm. growth with us. So if you find that one person, that's why onboarding is probably the hardest part.
It really is, and I've learned a lot from that. We should just do a episode on that.
Yeah, onboarding.
But also, you also want to find people with the same values as you, the same customer service. I mean, I always try to look for people that kind of have my personality. Some parts of my personality,
your
obviously.
Twin. You're looking for your twin out there?
I'm looking for twins.
Your doppelganger, what do they call it?
But honestly, we've had very good experiences. There's only been a few, that didn't work out. But pretty much everybody we onboard, they stay with us for a long time and are happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
usually
I'm thankful for that.
we have our turnover rate's not that high.
Yeah.
And if they do decide to leave, they either move or they're looking for a new career or school. So we completely understand that. We respect that. And, that's life.
Yep. So what are some of the downsides to staying solo, would you say?
You limit yourself. So when you're solo, like I said, your profit margin, your limit, your ceiling of growth. So, imagine you can only see 10 customers a day. That's the max, where if you are not a solo esthetician, your team, you can see 20, 30. So, growth is one of it, your ceiling.
I think, just if I can interject, you definitely have to work more, because you have to, you have to keep working. Like I'm blessed because since I've had my daughter, I was able to work, a couple days less a week because we had other employees,
Yeah. Your ceiling, you're limited, your schedule. So it's a pro and a con on that.
Yeah.
So you can take time as a solo esthetician. You can't generally take time off whenever you want.
Yeah.
But when you have a team, you can be like, hey, you know what? Let's switch the schedules around, or let's do this.
Or if somebody calls out, you don't
calls
have anybody. Like if you're sick as a dog and you have
if
nobody,
you're a solo esthetician, that's you. Like you lose your money for the day. It's not like someone's going to take over.
You don't get sick pay.
Yeah, you can't give yourself sick pay. But that comes with the territory of being a solo, and having a salon is you're flexible and you can manage that. Two is like if you're a solo esthetician, you say, hey, I want to go to Europe for 10 days. Well, how are you going to make money for 10 days?
Yeah.
Where's the income going to happen? And I see that a lot. Like when you talk to some solo estheticians around here and there, they're like, yeah, it sucks like going on vacation. Like if I do go on vacation.
Or they haven't been on vacation like for a long time because of that. Which
or if they do, they go local. Like they'll go like for example, if we're in LA, they'll go to Big Sur, or they'll go to San Francisco or something. They can't do a vacation longer than probably, let's say, 3 or 4 days.
Or you have to really plan for it and budget. Like that's what we did in the beginning, because we have family in Europe. And so we would have to budget, like we'd have to save up money and know that for those 10 days, we're not getting paid, right?
Yeah. And on top of that, not just that, but you have bills to pay still. So you have to still pay for your chair. So we're at a Salon Republic, so we pay weekly for our room. You still got to pay for everything else that comes with it, your booking system, your phone line system. That's if you add it on, but if you begin, you just have a booking system in your room is your primary overhead. You still have to pay for that, even though you're not working. So there's no vacation time for that either. No. So I think that's the downside of being solo is, you can't go on vacation like you do. We had an episode about this already. The burnout rate, you exhaust yourself. That's where the burnout comes out. Yeah. So now you can't go on vacation like you said. You can't. If you do go on vacation, you're limited on the time you can go. You're stressed out about your income, and that's when the burnout comes in. Like, all right, so if I had a team member, if I had a group of, 5, 6 team members, in the beginning before we started, you sure you want to leave that there? But yeah, that's when the burnout comes in, and
also you have to kind of plan for your future, because when I started, we didn't have any kids. And so I could give my all to the business, right? Like it was actually kind of a blessing because, I wasn't completely burned out. I think if I had had a child, it would have been much more difficult. But when I was getting ready to have our first son, that's when I hired my first person, because can you imagine 10 weeks of no pay? Like,
I know.
The state doesn't.
That's when we had our first onboard.
Yeah, that's when we had it, because we knew we had to.
We had to onboard someone, and then from there we got lucky. We got the right person, and we grew from there. Then we hired someone else, and then someone else, someone else. So it takes time, but you got to believe in yourself, and there's the pros and cons of it. But I was gonna mention something else, but I forgot.
About burnout, or?
Yeah, it was about burnout. If I remember, I'll come back to it. But I think burnout is an added pressure Why? Oh, this is what I was gonna say is similar to the real estate market. Like real estate agents come and go like that. You know, they get their license. They're there for a couple months. They're like, it's not for me. Same thing with their estheticians. They get their license. They do all that, and then they don't last long in the industry because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Whether you want to be
or
solo.
they want to grow so quick. You have to have patience in this industry. You know, you have to.